Peace. What's good? How y'all doing? This is ZaZaAli. Today is Friday, September 2nd, 2022. Uh, hmm, that's 112222 numerically. 929 plus anyway. Um, or two, yeah, 91. Anyway, that's not neither here nor there. Peace and love. How y'all doing? I'm doing very well. I hope this message reaches you all in the best of health, spirit, and mind. Today is day one of my 3-day fast, which of course I invite all of you to join me. I did post on social media, at least in my stories. And I think I posted on YouTube as well. I'm trying to be more cognizant of using YouTube in terms of, just posting regular stuff that I will post on Facebook or on Instagram. So I invite you all to join me this weekend. And always when I'm trying to stay on the regimen and be consistent in my 3-day fast once a month at the first weekend, of the month, doing a 3-day fast, no food, just water and tea. And my initial inspiration to do this fast, which I've been doing for consistently, I would say about 10 years now. I have my peaks and valleys and ups and downs, obviously, times when I'm super consistent and then times when I'm not. But for the most part, I have made this a way of life. And my initial inspiration was from the Eat to Live book by Elijah Muhammad. And I have since, not just a 3-day fast, but also eating one meal a day. That is overall my goal because I have seen tremendous benefit in every aspect of my life, the quality of my thinking, my spiritual awareness, the effects that it has on my physical body, obviously. It's a great way to lose weight quickly. Not that, I think fasting should be used as a way of losing weight. I think that can be, one of the desired effects, so to speak, but I don't think fasting just purely to lose weight is healthy, maybe every now and then, but there's spiritual ramifications for that because it is a spiritual practice, right? So you have to you have to respect the craft, you know what I mean? And so, but for me, fasting has been such a beautiful experience and something that I've been consistently sharing and talking about because I see how important it is, especially in this day and time. More so than anything, fasting is mind over matter, and it increases your willpower and your self-discipline. And, I take that personal, having control over my mind. And we're living in a world that is, no holds barred when it comes to trying to control your mind and rule you and govern you and manipulate you and deceive you in 1,000 different ways. And so when you're fasting, it kind of clears the cobwebs, so to speak, in your thinking. It clears the cobwebs in your energy. And you'll notice, well, I notice, and people who fast notice, when you don't have as many nutrients or as much food in your body, you are not as physically energized. And so I, mostly walk when I fast. I don't really do any, or some yin yoga. I don't do any strenuous physical movement. But I've also had to do things while I was fasting that required a lot of physical movement. I moved one time while I was fasting. And so my move date was at the beginning of the month, and it corresponded with, my fast. And I was like, part of me was like, you can wait until next week. But I was like, no, I've already determined to do this. And so I'm going to do it. And I did a lot of physically laborious things, but I willed myself to be able to do so, and without difficulty. I mean, yeah, by the end of the day, my body was extremely fatigued and taxed, but while I was doing it, it was purely a mind over matter thing. And so this is when we talk about going quantum, all these fourth dimensions of consciousness, fifth dimensions of consciousness, vibrate higher, frequency, all of this sort of spiritual language. that has become in vogue and that all of us are talking about in different ways. This is one of the most, if not the most, I won't say this is the most, because between this and breathing, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, they're running a very close second, but this is one of the most important and most powerful things that you can do for yourself. I will never be able to stress that enough. And people who have taken fasting serious, they know. Benefits of fasting are to look and feel younger, to detox your body, purge negative energy, and fine tune your frequency. Fasting strengthens willpower. It regenerates the body on a cellular level. Fasting is one of the best things you can do for your mind, body, and soul. As electromagnetic beings, our quality of life determines our frequency, which determines our reality. Mental and spiritual clarity is another benefit. Detoxing dead cells, damaged tissue, and fatty deposits. It stimulates fat burning, promotes diabetes prevention, lowers blood pressure, heals tissues, joints, organs, and muscles, shrinks and treat tumors and fibroids, all that and more. And I know, the treating tumors and fibroids, a lot of remedies and holistic, methodologies, and a lot of things have been revealed and have come to the surface, to help women deal with tumors and fibroids. And I would definitely, all of them that are hopefully giving women right and sound judgment or information in terms of diet and herbs and things like that. But with all of that being said, fasting is one of the most proven ways of being able to shrink and treat tumors and fibroids. There are tons of testimonies online, and obviously you don't have to have anything or purchase anything to do that. Now, you do have to have a strong mind. You do also have to be aware and conscientious of your body, and where you're strong, where you're not strong, what your body lacks, right? And so anything that your body is really truly lacking, maybe iron, then when you do your fasts, maybe you can do a juice fast that complements or supplements iron, right? Just, this is why in context, you really have to kind of fine tune how you fast, and then cater it to your own personal preferences. And you have to fast in order to even be able to do that, right? So this is going to be a short video. I'm already at 7 minutes. I'm not going to go over 20 minutes. I just want to share a few things with you guys to inspire you, those of you that are fasting with me, and to maybe put it on your brain to try fasting, different types of fasts, and just some inspiration and a little bit of guidance and advice to help your fast be successful. As you all should know, I've written 6 books, 4 metaphysics workbooks, 2 books, Black Matters Volume 1 and 2. Volume 1, The Scientific Intervention in Our Affairs, Eugenics, the dangerous V word that cannot even be said anymore, crack cocaine, the white trails in the sky, organ trafficking and more, and then Plagues of Dysfunction, which focuses on the subjects are Black girl loss, Black hair, feminism, the worship of sports culture, Hollywood weird, a people of sport and play, the Black man, and more. And then my metaphysics workbooks, The Science of Self, Mind, Change Your Mind from Lack to Abundance, Keys to Womanhood, what every young lady and woman should know, and The Science of Sex, Volume 1. I've also written an ebook called Practical Steps to Health and Well-Being. It's on sale on my website for $8.88. And I go into fasting as well as a bunch of other health regimens, herb suggestions, a lot of different things that we're going to talk about today, but in detail. So Practical Steps to Health and Well-Being 2.0. This is my sort of mission statement for 2020 and beyond. Spend time alone. Make fresh air and sunshine mandatory, develop a physical, spiritual practice like yoga, Tai Chi, martial arts, dance, running, or energy work. Eat organic and eat local as much as you possibly can if you're not growing your own food. Do not drink tap water under any circumstances, especially today. I don't even cook with tap water. I don't even water my plants with tap water, especially being here in Southern California. A ginger shot a day keeps the doctor away. I have found ginger, lemon, cayenne shots to be very beneficial in breaking up the mucus that comes from the white trails in the sky. A lot of the allergies and sinus infections and things that people are experiencing in mass are because of the white lines in the sky, right? And so I don't have allergies or sinuses, but when I'm outside too long, especially since I've been back in Cali, and if I go for a walk or if I do yoga outside or whatever, I'm outside a lot, I start to feel that mucus. It's not like I don't get a cold, I don't get sickness. It's just this mucus that comes and builds up in my throat. And the ginger, lemon, cayenne shots, keep that away. So, and of course, ginger is super. That mixture is very helpful, not helpful, um, healthy. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, of course, stay sucker free because why not? What's the point of being healthy if you're surrounded by negative energy and drama and chaos, right? Avoid public hospitals at all costs. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I just had a consultation with a sister recently that just 100% confirmed that for me. And shout out to all of the strong, courageous, brave souls who are having to deal with those very dangerous environments, at the behest of your health situation. Maybe you're dealing with a fatal an injury or a car accident, or just an ongoing health issue that you've been dealing with that requires you to get medical assistance. Like, power to the people, those of you guys that are sticking to your guns and refusing to become a victim of an experiment and maintaining sovereignty over your mind and your bodily affairs. Like, trust me, it's gonna pay off in the long run. Just stay the course. Fasting is critical. Obviously, that's what we're talking about today. Choose a daily spiritual practice that fits your personality. For me, that's meditation. For me, that's yoga. And for me, that's spending time in nature. Get some sea moss, black seed, bladderwhack, chlorophyll, and vitamin C. And again, in this Practical Steps to Health and Wellbeing ebook, I give a list of these recommendations as well, and their benefits and why we should take them. Plants and flowers make everything all right. I love to be surrounded by green, by nature, because it reminds me that God is everywhere, including surrounding me right here. You know what I mean? With my plants or with, flowers, the beauty and the representation of nature. I like to have it around me all the time. Cultivate proper breathing. I cannot stress that enough. Like I said, between fasting and proper cultivation of breath, those are my two top recommendations in terms of health and well-being. And there's a lot of, important things and herbs and supplements and, you know what I'm saying, methodologies and energy work. But I'm telling you, these two things, breathing and fasting, are supremely critical in this hour. Do a consistent heavy metal detox: bentonite clay, chlorella, cilantro, activated charcoal, chia seeds, and shilajit. Shilajit, I know I'm not saying that right. I'm totally butchering it, but it's a herbal supplement that is also good for detoxing heavy metals out of the system. I've been screaming bentonite clay from the top of my lungs for the last 10 years. I consistently drink bentonite clay 2 to 3 times a week. There's obviously a special regimen for that. I talk about that in the ebook as well. I take chlorella every single day. I put cilantro in my smoothies every day. Activated charcoal, I every now and then put in my smoothies and also brush my teeth with. And then chia seeds are in my smoothies every single day as well. And then last but not least, serving others is good for the soul. And I would emphasize that, and then exclamation point times 10. The pH scale. This is directly from my Keys to Womanhood workbook. And imagine if all of our daughters at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old started to understand their anatomy and their physical internal body at this level. Imagine how much healthier our culture would be and our children would be if we really taught them the science of their bodies and how they're wired for well-being, because they are, and we are. So what is body pH? Your body's pH, also referred to as its acid-base balance, is the level of acids and bases in your blood. The human body is built to naturally maintain a healthy balance of acidity and alkalinity. The lungs and kidneys play a key role in this process. A normal blood pH level is 7.4 on a scale of 0 to 14, where 0 is the most acidic and 14 is the most basic. This value can vary slightly in either direction. If the lungs or kidneys are malfunctioning, your blood's pH level can become imbalanced. Disruption in your acid-base balance can lead to medical conditions known as acidosis and alkalosis, as well as a multitude of diseases. And this chart at the top just shows the pH scale. If you're too far on the left, you're acidic. If you're too far on the right, you're alkaline. Neutral is the space that the bodily functions at its prime. So right in that middle range of 7.5. And of course, acidic foods versus alkaline foods. At this point, we all should have all of this stuff under the cap. But it's important to reemphasize it just to make sure everybody is kind of keeping these things at the forefront. Fasting is the key to longevity. It helps detox the body by scouting for dead cells, damaged tissue and fatty deposits in replacement of food. This is also from the Keys to Womanhood workbook. It promotes diabetes prevention, stabilizes insulin levels, lowers blood pressure, stimulates fat burning, promotes mental and spiritual clarity, stimulates willpower, improves relationship with food. Researchers have found evidence that fasting 1 or 2 days a week can prevent the effects of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. And of course, we know that the white trails in the sky are directly connected to the statistics of Alzheimer's disease, as well as ADHD, as well as a lot of the neurological issues, dementia, that people all over the world are experiencing at higher levels than ever. It reduces free radical cell damage, so you look and feel younger for longer. It potentially has an effect on cancer treatment. Now, and I wrote this in the book, use certain language because you don't want to, you got to be careful with language and saying what cures what. But there's overwhelming evidence that people have cured cancer by fasting through different methodologies of fasting. All tests conducted so far show that fasting improves survival, slows tumor growth, and limits the spread of tumors. And again, if you are dealing with certain health regimens, obviously it may be, you may not be able to go completely without food. So then there's different type of fast that you can, sort of still be able to challenge your body and strengthen your discipline and give your cells a chance to regenerate without, let me turn this back. I think that might be the first time my phone rung in a video. And my little clock just messed up. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Okay. What did it say? What does it say? Autophagy. Your body gets rid of your bad cells, bad cell membranes, bad DNA, bad mitochondria, and bad muscle and tissue cells. It increases the growth hormones, helps reset the thyroid, insulin, leptin, testosterone, estrogen, and more. It heals tissues, joints, organs, and muscles, and it helps to decrease physical and emotional strains of the menstrual cycle. And I also talk about that in Keys to Womanhood at length. I have a whole section where we talk about the woman's monthly cycle and recommendations to decrease the level of cramps, decrease the level of pain, decrease the level of flow. And fasting is a great way to do that. And I know because I for many years, that was my goal. So there is juice fast. Juice fast is a great type of fast. You consume liquids from fruits or vegetables only. No solid foods are eaten for a specified period of time, which can be anywhere from 1 day to 2 weeks. A juice fast is simple, but requires some planning to ensure you get enough vitamins and minerals from a variety of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables can be processed in a juicer or a blender or a food processor. A blend of fruit or vegetables is mixed with water and consumed 3 to 6 times daily. A water fast is very stringent and should not be implemented without consulting your doctor or someone with experience if you've never done it before. Here's your consultation. And again, when you're writing a book, you have to use certain language to make sure that you cover all bases. But when I did my first fast. I did it cold turkey. I had never done a fast before. I just challenged myself. I went for 3 days straight with only water and tea. I did not break, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I didn't have anybody helping me or guide me. I just made the choice and then I stuck to it. So again, we have to use certain language to make sure we're covering all bases. The time varies depending on, only water is consumed around 2 quarts per day. The time varies depending on physical condition and goals. Medically supervised water fasts have shown success in normalizing blood pressure. Yes, and then we also have a cleansing fast, we have religious fasts, and then we have raw food fasts. For all of the people who have never fasted before or still have jobs and things that require a little bit more physical mobility, I recommend just doing a raw fast. Just do salads, no dairy, maybe smoothies, an apple for dinner, something to that effect, right? Maybe a nice fruit, a huge salad with all of the, bells and whistles, the onions and the bell peppers, but everything raw, tomatoes, spinach, and you can get creative with salads. I love making salads. Yeah, I don't even think I need to say that. Just, making the decision and making the choice in your mind, and then not allowing anything to dissuade you from capitalizing on the experience is the key to fasting. Because like I said, it's mind over matter, right? So you've got to set an intention for the fast starting out, like I always do. I'm fasting this weekend. I have a very clear intention. I had a very clear intention last month for my fast, and it came true like right immediately after the fast, right? So I have a very clear intention for this fast. And if there's moments of difficulty where I feel, a little bit tired or hungry or agitated, I go to my breath and then I remember the intention of my fast. And then I feel regenerated and I feel good again, because I know this thing that I need, or this clarity that I'm seeking, or this goal that I want to come to me quickly, to manifest quickly, is on its way. So I can thug it out for a little bit longer. I can deal with this discomfort, or maybe not even look at it as discomfort. Again, I'm strengthening my willpower. I'm, making my mind more powerful, all of that type of stuff, right? And also getting off the time of this world, and really establishing my own personal timeline and my own personal clock. I just want to end this real quick with to emphasize the power and the importance of the breath. I have a rhythmic breathing video up on my on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing more different sort of breathing exercises type videos on the membership channel in the coming days. But I can't stress this enough, especially when you're fasting, maybe doing some stretching, some yin yoga regiments, and then just really, really, really focusing in on your breath. And it's critical that you know that you're supposed to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I have continuously been talking about and emphasizing the importance of that, because your nostrils are made in a way that filters out dust and dirt particles. And then when you breathe out through the mouth, you're not only breathing out any, dust or particles or toxin that have made their way through that system, but also the toxins from the air, and the toxins from the food, and the toxins from, all of these different, the white lines in the sky, right? If you live in an area like Los Angeles, like me, you realize how important like being in clean air becomes, right? Being around a bunch of trees and just being able to soak up that pure, clean oxygen. And that's what someone asked me in an interview that I did recently. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel, with Rob from Cafecito Break. But they asked me about moving out of cities. And I can't remember if I said this, if I emphasized this enough, but I think it's very important for us to be in areas that have a lot of trees right now, because that's what the trees do. They clean our air and they produce pristine oxygen. So don't underestimate the power and the importance of the science of breath. And really, really understanding it's important to breathe in through the nose and then breathe out through the mouth. Also, when you breathe in, your stomach is supposed to contract out. And then when you breathe out, your stomach is supposed to retract in. Contract, retract. I think I'm saying that right. So it's not even the normal, you think you breathe in, your stomach comes in, you think you breathe out, your stomach goes out. No, that's actually the reverse process. You breathe in, your stomach pushes out, you breathe out, your stomach pushes in. It's hard to explain it without showing it. So like I said, I'll do videos, in the membership page talking about different breathing regimens and the importance of breathing. And then also the rhythm of moving the body in cohesion with the breath process. That's why yoga is so important. Tai Chi, Reiki energy work, right? Because if you're just sitting at a desk all day or standing up, not really giving your body the opportunity to circulate the blood and the energy at a consistent rate, that's how energy gets stagnated. That's how diseases are created. That's how mucus is created, et cetera, et cetera. And so for me, last but certainly not least, I just really want to emphasize, like I said, this time that we're living in right now, and how we can't wait until the last minute to start being mentally and spiritually prepared. So these fasts that I'm doing every week, obviously I'm sharing them with you guys, but just for me personally, I want to stay in my most pristine condition in terms of the clarity of my thinking, my decision making, and making sure that I'm connected to and rooted to something deeper than just what's happening on the surface of this world. It is imperative for me right now because I'm super sensitive, not just to what's happening around me, but like everything that's happening in the world. And I know too much, and I care, and I'm a researcher, and I'm a mother, you know what I mean? And I'm a lover of nature. So I'm consistently concerned with, that's why I'm talk about the white lines in the sky so much. It's not just because I'm trying to warn you guys, like, no, I'm concerned about what this is doing to our bees and to our ecosystem and our plant life and our wildlife, right? And so when I fast and when I go out in nature, I'm connecting with nature in a deeper way than just the surface, sort of the surface ways that we've kind of become accustomed to connecting to nature. No, I want to be connected to the mind that created this, the harmony that the beach operates in, and the sun and the moon and the stars. Is just so miraculous, all of it. And we're down here playing, pity pat, dealing with these primitive, silly human conditions. So when I fast, I don't have to deal with the silly, primitive human conditions. I can rise up into and be aligned with the true intentions of God, of Allah, of source energy, which is love. So I hope this inspires you. I hope it gives you encouragement. I hope it gives you clarity on any questions you may have asked, and any more questions you may have. Like I said, I did it in my Keys to Womanhood workbook. I discussed this in my Practical Steps to ebook, to Health and Wellbeing ebook. I discussed this at length. So it's a little frustrating for me sometimes when you guys send me messages and emails and DMs asking me to do videos and do content about things that I've written books about. Okay, I support you. You guys support me too. Okay. And with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful fast. If you're fasting with us this weekend, maybe you're doing a raw fast, maybe you're doing water only, maybe you're doing a juice fast. Either one is all good. You should congratulate yourself even before the fast really kicks into full gear. The fact that you are doing something that most people spend their lives running from, which is running towards yourself. All right. ZaZaAli.com is my website. info@ZaZaAli.com. info@ZaZaAli.com is my email address. Peace and love.